Hi all, it's your guy here, The Unknown, and today I want us to look at something important. I want us to actually look at how to execute in real time on live charts, and that is how to see good opportunities or good entries in real time on live charts, okay? And that is highly important. Why? Because it's the most important skill to have, okay? Unless you can actually execute in real time on live charts, then nothing else will matter. We all know that execution is the most important thing, okay? Nothing else matters when it comes to trading unless being able to execute in real time, okay? So now I know you understand the strategies, you understand most of the things, and one thing we haven't really discussed in detail is entries, okay? So that's what we will be doing today, although I have already made a couple of videos. I'll show you. And the most important thing when it comes to execution, okay, for you to be able to execute in real time on live charts, you must understand the importance of time, okay? Yes, I made a couple of videos here. There's this video which says understanding the importance of time in trading, okay? And there's this is where I actually introduced and explained the importance of time, okay? And this is where I used a lot of examples where we were actually executing based on time, okay? If you watch these two videos, this one, trading the most profitable strategy, is my latest video, okay? Before this one, of course, before the one you are watching right now, okay? If you watch this one and this one, it will make you good in execution, okay? These ones focus on execution, entries, okay? And that's one thing everyone is interested in, because that's the most important thing. These two videos will help you when it comes to entries. And right now I'm just gonna re-emphasize most of the thing and show you how to actually see these things in real life, okay? In real time. Those two videos are highly important. Please watch them to understand everything, okay? So guys, the most important thing is time itself. Everything is timed, okay? Whether it's a logarithm or it's real people who are actually moving the markets, they are good in maintaining time, okay? They are very good in maintaining time, because over and over again you will realize that they throw stop hunts exactly at this time. Let me just try to convert it to you as time, because I realized most people have been struggling to actually use my time zone, okay? I use 3:30. Last month 3:30 p.m. was 9:30 US time, was 9:30 a.m. actually, and since times have changed, now 3:30 is 8:30, and this is the time I use for New York equity opening time. And I did say that, okay, unless, I repeat, unless there is actually highly explosive news such as non-form, I use this time, okay? I want to come to the market at this time, and there's a reason for that. The reason is actually the fact that they're gonna use Asia and London to propel people into opening trades. Remember, it doesn't matter how much you have in your account. It is of no use until you open a position, until you expose that capital to the market. It is of no use. Therefore, the role of market makers is to propel everybody to open trades. And by the time the New York session opens, the equity time, everybody is in the market. Remember, they're gonna use the first hour, okay? They're gonna use Asia, they're gonna use London, actually they're gonna use the whole day to trap people, okay? And by the time the New York session opens, the only thing left is to go and hit stops, then go into their intended direction. So this makes everything easy. If you're coming to your charts exactly at this time, okay, then you know that, okay, all the money is in the market, all the stops are in the market, everybody is in the market, okay? So the only job left is to hit stops. Once they hit stops, they are done with their job, they are going to their intended direction. And by stop hunt, I actually mean something like, if the market has already broken down, okay, they can come and give a pullback, and that will be a stop hunt, okay? That will be a stop hunt. If, say for instance, they've been consolidating throughout the entire day, okay, which is a common practice, that means there is stops above and below. So their only job is, if they want to go up, they will actually throw a stop hunt at the equity open, come and close those who actually bought here. And we already know that, okay, there are people who sold here. So you see, it's gonna be easy, and this move is gonna be so quick. I know most people think if they actually wait for the New York session to open, they will miss a lot of opportunities. No, it's not like that. Remember, most of the moves are gonna come during the New York session. Why? Because at that time, all the liquidity is in the market. There's a lot of order flow. There's a lot of order block, whatever you call it. There's a lot of people on the market. Okay, so that's a good time to come to your screen. And besides, you'll have only roughly 1 hour 30 minutes to trade. And you know what that will do? That will prevent over trading, because over trading is one of the biggest problem most people are experiencing. Okay, you make profit, you give it back, you make profit, you give it back. So I just found this practice to be highly beneficial. Even though most people think they are missing a lot, you are not missing. Okay, they're gonna use those 2 sessions to actually trap and trap and trap and trap. Okay, yes, sometimes you come to the screen and all the moves will have happened during the London session. That's okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay, but I honestly stick to this time. Okay, so time is important, hence I showed you those videos. The high of yesterday is important, the low of yesterday is important, yesterday's closing price is important, high of the week is important, and the low of the week is important. So we will be looking at all these things in real charts. Okay, so let's just jump into the charts quite quick. Okay, and I'm gonna keep this one short. Okay, I'm gonna keep this one short because I've already made a lot of videos on this topic. Okay, so you can just go and watch those 2 that I've just showed you. Look guys, we are on gold. Okay, and if you can look at the previous week, gold was just breaking the previous day's low almost every day. Okay, last week they broke it on Monday, they broke it on Tuesday, they broke it on Wednesday, they broke it on Thursday, and they broke the lows on Friday. However, even though they were doing that, if you go to a 15-minute time frame, you will realize that from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday itself, they were actually giving stop hunts exactly at 3:30 South African time, which is 8:30 a.m. US time. Okay, so I'm not gonna go into that. You will see that I've already done that in my previous video that I've just showed you. Okay, in my recent video I showed you all the examples. So coming to yesterday, for those who watched those videos, I believe during the weekend, I believe yesterday you saw something very, very great. Okay, because when we came, okay, let me start on this 1 hour time frame. I did say that during the weekends there are a couple of things we have to do, and that includes marking out the high of the previous week. You see, this was the high of last week, hence I wrote high of the week, and I just explained that these are the most important things. Okay, yes, I did say time is important, and the high of yesterday is important, the low of yesterday, all these things here. These are the levels we actually mark on the weekends. Okay, we mark this 2 on the weekends. Okay, and we also get last week's closing price. Okay, you'll see this on a Monday. Okay, and let's go to our chart so that we can just go a little bit deeper into that. We mark out the high of the week, we mark out the low of the week, we mark out the previous week's closing price, and we also mark out this week's closing price. How do you see this week's closing price? Obviously you will see by this dotted blue line. The indicator is free, it's in the description below. Okay, you can just download it. You see, on Monday you'll have this line. This shows that this is the opening price. Immediately, this is the closing price of Friday. Immediately when Monday opens, okay, you will see this line developing. As you can see today, yesterday's closing price is here, it's developing. Okay, so you just extend your line over this line. Okay, And the same applies to here. You will see this was last week's Friday's closing price. You will see it on Monday. Okay, that's where I drew this line, and I just use different colors. Okay, you can do the same for the high and the low. I use red. For the current week, I use light green, and for last week's closing price, I use dark green. This is just to help me see these things. Okay, because you need these levels. Honestly, you need these levels. These are the levels that are gonna help you execute in real time. Okay, now we are coming to our 15-minute chart. What did we say? We said 8:30, which is 3:30 South African time. It was usually 9:30. I haven't changed my times, hence you see I'm still using 3:30, which is now 8:30. Okay, I use this time for US equity opening. Okay, so exactly at this time, what did they do? They threw this doji candle. You see, it's a pin doji. Okay, and now we have our levels. Let me show you. This is the low of last week, which was obviously here. I'm not taking into account this one because as we said, don't hold your trades over to the following week. And the reason is the market can open on Monday with a huge gap, or else you see they can do this nonsense. Okay, why are they doing this? Because already they know there are people who left their trades open. Unless you are a long-term investor, do not hold over trades over to Monday, because they will do this. If you look, okay, let me just show you, because this happens. You see here, they opened with a very big gap. They opened with 170 pip gap. Oh, you think it's a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. They're doing these things intentionally. Just look here. Okay, this is the importance of not holding your trades over to the next week. Okay, that was 170. This is 190 pips. You see, this is just pure manipulation, and unfortunately there's nothing anybody can do about this. Yes, it should be illegal, but it's legal for them. Okay, so I don't know if it's gonna keep being legal for them, I mean for the market makers, but this is not right. It's not good. Okay, because this is pure manipulation. Therefore, since you don't have any choice, okay, just make sure you close your open positions on Friday. This is highly important. Okay, because they will surprise you. And beside them manipulating, there are actually times when something will happen. Say for instance, imagine if there is a natural disaster that is happening. Maybe you bought gold, and maybe USA experiences floods during a weekend. What's gonna happen? Their prices are obviously gonna drop, and when the markets open, you won't actually, during the weekend, you won't be able to close those open trades. Okay, however, you will know that prices are gonna drop because of the natural disaster, but because the markets will be closed, you won't be able to open. And when they open, believe me, on a Monday, they're gonna open with a huge gap, and that might mean huge losses for you. Okay, so this is just important. However, I'm not gonna be talking about this. What I'm talking about, it's time and the importance of time. Okay, if you look at yesterday, exactly this time it's 13:30 for me, because I always say my broker's behind in 2 hours, and that's the server time. Unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do about that. Okay, so I always account for that when I am using my session indicators. Okay, so this is why below here you see the date and 13:30. Okay, it's 3:30 because the server is behind in 2 hours. Okay, so what did they do? They threw a stop hunt. Okay, just as I was saying, they used the Asian session, they used the London session. Let me show you this quite quick. You see, this is the high of Asia. Okay, this is the high of Asia. I want to make it blue. Okay, I will make it blue and use a line that will actually be visible for everybody and different. Okay, so this is the high of Asia. What does this mean? This means there are people who sold during the Asian session. Remember, we have people from places with different time zones. Okay, everybody has a different time zone. For some, the Asian session will come early, and that will be actually the best session for them. Okay, because of time. So there are people who sold during the Asian session. Okay, and there were people who bought on Friday. Okay, there were people who bought on Friday. Okay, and actually there are people who bought during the gap time. Guys, there are people everywhere. Somebody will come and say, how do you know? Obviously, you know that there are millions and millions and millions, if not billions of people all over the world who are actually active on the markets, and people are using different strategies. Just because we use session times, it doesn't mean everybody out there uses session times. Most people don't even know about session times, okay? So most people are active on the market throughout the day, okay? And remember, there are people who are scalping. There are people who are actually opening for the long term. There are people who are good in fundamentals but not good in technicals, okay? There are people who are gambling. There are people who are doing a lot of things, okay? So these are the places where there is stops, okay? All these places, there is a lot of stops. And when the market opens, remember, we are now inside the consolidation. You see, Asia created a consolidation. Friday and Asia, this was the low, this was the high, and prices were kept perfectly inside. There's a reason for keeping prices inside. If you can see, there is a reason for all these things. Remember, these guys are so perfect. They know, okay? They are experienced. They have been doing these things for decades, okay? And they get the best training, okay? So this is the reason I told you I want to come to my chart at this time. I don't care what happens throughout the day. I don't care what happens throughout the day. Why? Because I know one thing. Okay, if it's a currency that has to do with the dollar, most of them actually, they are gonna move in the US session, and they are just gonna use these two sessions to create the market trap. So everybody above here is trap, below is trap, and they are not allowing these people to exit with profits. Hence why this consolidation is perfectly maintained, okay? Hence why it's perfectly maintained. So when I come, I know that, okay, there's liquidity, there are stops everywhere. My job is to find the stops, okay? Is to find the stops, okay? I know the day count. This was, okay, they were going down for 5 days, okay? So they will have to book some profits. I'm not saying they are going to start reversing. I'm not saying they're going to start continuing. I don't know what they're going to do up until the time I come to the market at 3:30, 8:30 US time, okay? I don't know what's going to happen, okay? Hence why I'm no longer doing that live where we were actually analyzing charts, preparing for tomorrow, because I've came to realize that you don't know what's going to happen. Prices can continue or they can reverse, okay? Anything is possible. Yes, we use the day count as signals, but prices can do anything. Hence, I always say be objective, not subjective, okay? Because most people tend to say, okay, today it's day 3, prices must reverse. I was like that. I used to do that. It didn't work. Sometimes prices will just keep going in one direction, okay? Okay? So one thing you must understand is that, okay, this time we'll throw a stop hunt. You see, this time they are throwing a stop hunt where to those who bought here and bought here, okay? So all those people have now been closed out. Once you see a stop hunt, you know that their job down is done. And if you're gonna be entering this, I told you it happens at what time? At 8:30 US time, 3:30 South African time, okay? It was 9:30, okay? Now it's 8:30, okay? What you do? If you understand the importance of timing and the importance of stop hunts, and you know that, okay, they're usually gonna throw stop hunts at the equity opening time. Sometimes it could be 30 minutes before, sometimes it could be 15 minutes before. You can, if you're experienced, you can actually take the trade, okay, if you understand that that is the stop hunt. However, you must know that you should be in and out. The moment they hit the low, you must understand that, okay, I want to go out, okay? Because obviously these are the guys who are in profit and they are coming after these guys, okay? So if you understand this, in and out quick, you can take this. But if you don't understand these things yet, I just recommend not taking them. Personally, I don't take them, okay? I know that sometimes I can take them, but I must be in and out quick. But I just prefer not to take them. I prefer to be patient, okay, and wait. And what did we say? We say that, okay, when the equity opens, they are going to throw a stop hunt. Wait for the next 15 minutes and pay attention to every 15-minute candle, okay? So what do? At 45, okay, they haven't given an opportunity. Okay, o'clock, They are still moving in direction of the stop hunt. Okay, fine. What happens at 15 pause? Okay, now it's actually 9:15 for US time. Okay, what did they do? You can see, okay, they gave something like a doji. Okay, wait, don't just execute dodges. Okay, wait. We need that last engulf that obviously closes inside the EMA. That's the most important thing, and this is an EMA of 20. It's an exponential EMA of 20. Let me show you the settings. Okay, let me show you the settings. This is the EMA. Okay, I want everybody to see it. Okay, so that you don't get confused. It's an exponential EMA of 20. Okay, you can see all the settings right here. Okay, this is the EMA I'm using. Okay, so we need a candle that will engulf all the nonsense out. That means they are immediately shifting the zones from trap volume, from the stop hunt. Okay, and mostly that shifting candle is gonna be an engulf that closes inside the EMA. Okay, that's important. Okay, so what did they do? They gave a doji. What do? You wait. Okay, they give this one. Okay, fine, they're just hitting this level. So now we know, okay, now there's a possibility that they might reverse from this level, as they have closed out all these guys. Maybe they trapped people on Friday, they don't want to release them. That's highly possible. Okay, I'm not saying they must take them out. No, sometimes they won't. Okay, so you start observing from here. What are they doing? Okay, paying attention to every 15-minute candle that is opening. Okay, what do? Okay, they haven't engulfed anything. There is no reason to be entering this. Okay, as you see, what do? The next 15-minute candle, I'm on a 15-minute time frame. The next 15-minute candle opens. Okay, they are still moving in direction of the stop hunt. Okay, fine. What do? Nothing. Okay, the last hour of the session, this is one of the most important hours. Actually, every o'clock candle that opens after the equity time, it's the most important hour. Okay, where they can actually give the trade. Okay, that's highly important to understand. Okay, that's highly important to understand. Okay, on the last hour, this is the candle that opens exactly on o'clock. You see, it's saying 15 o'clock, whereas in reality in South Africa it's 5 p.m. Okay, it's 5 p.m. That's the last hour of the session. What do? They engulf. This candle almost closes inside the EMA. This is your entry. However, pay attention. We did say that we want our stops to be 25 if it's something like golden indices. This is too big, so it's right actually to follow this move on a smaller time frame. Okay, on a smaller time frame. I personally will use a 5-minute chart. Once they throw the stop hunt, I now open a 5-minute, 15-minute, and a 1-minute on different monitors. Okay, because now I want to be monitoring this move quite okay, let's go this. I want to be monitoring this move very careful. Okay, so as you see, what do during the last hour? Here they engulfed. Okay, okay, they did engulf, but this is just like a railroad track. Wait to see what happens. Now they engulf. Okay, on the last hour they engulf, and this all enters inside the EMA and closes right beneath it, almost inside it. Okay, so guys, this is your entry. This is a perfect entry. Let's look at the stops right now. The stops is just 20 pips. Okay, 22 pips roughly if you are putting your stop below the low of last week. Okay, so you can see they bounced on the level, bounced on the level. So it is important to note how they behave at the levels. Okay, how do they behave at the levels? What time is it on the clock? Did they throw a stop hunt? Those are the most important things to understand. Times. Okay, sometimes they won't be on this low of the week. Sometimes they're gonna be on the closing price, yesterday's closing price. Okay, sometimes they will be doing all these things here. Okay, it's important to see how they are treating these levels. Sometimes they will be on the weekly close, maybe here. It's important to see how they behave on these levels. Sometimes they will be doing all these things here at the high of the week, sometimes on the previous week's closing price. Okay, so these are the levels and the behaviors. Okay, how do they behave at this level, at what time? If you understand the time where they throw the stop hunt, then everything will make sense. You see, gold gave the best entry yesterday. Yes, it gave the best entry. Okay, even for those who waited for this and entered here. Okay, and then they just said calculated maybe 25 pips to 25 pips down. Okay, they could have still kept their stops 25 pips and they would have got roughly 100 and something pips. And guys, I'm not doing this. Somebody is gonna say, hey, it's hindsight. Okay, it's fine, but one thing you should remember is that even if you're saying it's hindsight, go and watch this video and watch this video. You will see everything is consistent. Okay, everything on my channel is consistent. Okay, it's consistent. It happens every time, every day. You will see this on at least maybe 2 pairs. Okay, you will see this almost every day. Okay, so if you are saying it's hindsight, it's okay. If you're saying I'm showing this because it has already happened, go and watch the previous videos. Actually, for those who watched the previous videos during the weekend, okay, or before this happened, I believe you got this one because it happened exactly as explained. Okay, for those who are saying it's hindsight, I don't care. Why? Because look at how it's done every day. You see this candle here, it gives a stop hunt every day. This is the same candle, the same time, 8:30. They give a stop hunt, send people down, followed by an engulf that closes inside the EMA. You can go to a smaller time frame, you would have got this. Okay, every day this is maintained perfectly. You see, this one started 15 minutes before. They gave a stop hunt, they were news. However, later they gave the most beautiful trade. You see, this is a pin engulf closing inside the EMA. You see, every day. Okay, this happens every day. Okay, so just go and watch the previous ones and go and back test this. Okay, once you back test it, you'll start understanding it more better, and the better you understand it, the more the executions will start flowing in. Okay, and everything will start making sense and everything will become easy. As I told you, I want to come during this time. Why? Because I understand one thing. By this time already, I know I have a lot of liquidity. I have the highs, I have the lows if I'm gonna be opening inside. Therefore, they are only gonna go into one extreme. If they were gonna go down on this day, because it was still possible, they can go any direction they please to go to. Okay, so if they were gonna go down, they would have maybe engulfed this level. Okay, the stop hunt would have gone inside. Okay, and then they will have given a good opportunity. So it's gonna happen always. Okay, if you are inside, if you are outside like this, that means maybe the market has broken down. Okay, let's look at this day. This was Friday. You were outside. If you are outside, they can just give a continuation. However, the stop hunt will be back into the trend. Okay, so just understand that the equity opening time, they will throw a stop hunt, and if you understand that stop hunt and you understand time rotations, we mean the each and every 15-minute candle that opens become important. Okay, don't just say, okay, now they gave us a doji, you are entering. No, we are not looking for a doji. Our entries are not based on dodges, they are based on engulfs that closes inside the EMA. I just showed you the settings of the EMA, so this shouldn't be really difficult. Okay, this eliminates most of the problems. Okay, because first of all, you've eliminated a lot of garbage that happens throughout the day. Now coming here, you are left with 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, 1 hour 30 minutes to be in the market, and just look, that little time you have to be on the market turns out to give, how many pips did they give yesterday? For somebody who entered here, you can see they gave over 100 and 120 pips, okay, and this was obviously an expansion of 2. You see, for take profit I use an expansion, okay, okay, and I've learned this from the best traders, okay. So guys, you see they gave an expansion of 2, okay. So usually I would want an expansion of 2 or 3 based on the size of the consolidation, okay. So if you took it here, obviously your first take profit was here, and looking at the time of the day, yes, this was a good take profit. And you never know, even for those who lock their profits here, okay, maybe they open multiple position and another one has a take profit here, this level can still be reached. However, I'm not saying they're gonna go up, I'm not giving anything, but one thing I can assure you is that you see how they are consolidating. They use 2 sessions to consolidate. Big moves comes from consolidation. There might be a very nice good move during the US session, okay. So just look at the times, the importance of times, and understand stop hunts, because they are just creating liquidity. You see, there's no need to rush into the market. There's no need to rush into the market. Yes, there are days when they will actually use the 2 sessions to give a big move. However, still when you come, you still have a good move, okay. However, on this Friday I took a loss, okay, because I miscalculated the stop the stop hunt, okay, but it's still okay. It was okay because throughout the week it was a good week for me, and I only took 1 loss here on Friday, which was not bad, okay. So yeah, it's still good, okay. So understanding stop hunts come at the equity opening time, that is the most important thing. Then waiting for an engulf, pin engulf. It could be a pin followed by engulf, or it could just be an engulf, okay. They close this inside the EMA. And one thing that is important to understand is stop hunts. Once they stop hunt, once they hit the stops, they are done, okay. Stop hunts, okay. Actually, Steve Mauro will say, welcome to the candy shop. Don't trade until the hit the stops, okay. That's his favorite song, derived from 50 Cent song Candy Shop, okay. He waits for the stops, and once they hit the stops, honestly, they are done, because now you know they've closed everybody who was in profit here. Who is in profit now? Everybody who sold here is in profit, and these are the people the markets are most likely to go to, okay. And surprisingly enough, they even went to those who were in profit from US session Friday, okay. So this you see, they've closed those who were in profit on Friday US session, okay. So these are the most important things to know. Who is in profit, okay. When you come to your session, you must know who's in profit. When they throw a stop hunt, you must know who did they close, okay. Who did they close, okay. So yes, I did miscalculate here, because they will be behaving very well, okay, on the level, or on a level here, but it was something I mistakenly did, because they didn't even close anything inside the EMA, okay. So I took a loss because I miscalculated everything. I actually made a mistake. We all make mistakes. Even the best guys make mistakes, okay. So yeah, that's why I took a loss here. But they did give a very good opportunity, given that okay, this stop hunt started here, and as you can see, the stop hunt was just going back inside, okay. However, it didn't break anything, and then it just gave a continuation. But understanding the importance of time, understanding the low of the week, understanding the weekly closing price, yesterday's closing price, yesterday's low, yesterday's high, these are the levels where they're gonna give good moves. And when you are there at the right time, you're gonna get it, guys, okay. So this is how you can actually see these things in real time on real charts, okay. I don't know if I was a little bit if these things were a little bit complicated. Just comment. If you want me to clarify more, you can just comment, because I think I have been a little bit fast, or I maybe have explained a lot of things. But the importance of timing and the stop hunt, that's the most important thing, because once they are done with the stop hunt, once they are done, guys, they are gonna go quick and they will never come back, okay. Go and back test, you'll see. Once they give a stop hunt at this time on this US session, the only job now is to go straight. Why? Because most of the job has been done throughout the day, and the only job now is actually to go. Okay, so this is why I love the US session, and this is why I wait for the New York session. Most of the days, US session is gonna give the best opportunities, and there are some days when you'll come and realize that, okay, they move the markets in London. Obviously, their goal is to trick people and to use variations. Okay, so when it comes to trading, one thing we can say is most of the things are just repeating. Nothing is new. Just be there at the right time with the right mindset, sober, be objective, and see how they behave at the level, how they are treating this EMA, and obviously where the stop hunt was thrown to. Okay, so if you understand the stop hunt, yes, you can take it, but for me, preferably, I just prefer to sit and wait. Okay, yes, I know that, okay, this is the place they might actually be going to, or at least this place, since all the guys from Asia are still in, those who actually bought from Asia were in profit. And one last thing I want everybody to see is this thing of you guys saying support and resistance. Yes, support and resistance does work some of the time, but if they hit a level perfectly like this, you see, they hit it here, they came and hit it here perfectly, I become curious. You know, if you have been following me for a long time, you know how curious I am if I see something like this, because this is just a trap. What are they doing? They know if they come and bounce here, they bounce again here. People are saying, oh, this is a strong support. Your book says this is a strong support. Notice how they are also behaving on the close. Okay, they're just coming and hitting the close. They are hitting the close. You see, perfectly maintaining the closing price. Guys, these are important level. They want people to now draw lines and say, oh, okay, those who don't know the close, they will be like, okay, this is a strong support. This is a strong resistance. Comes here, we sell. Okay, and how much pips are you getting? They're not giving you much profit. Okay, they're giving you roughly 57. Okay, but guys, this support and resistance of yours is very problematic, because if they maintain this perfectly, usually I don't take these things. Why? Because I know that they're coming with something like a stop hunt just like this. They want you to pile up orders right here, keep your stops here. So there's a bunch of stops, and believe me, for market makers, these are billions. I used to ask a question, why, if they know that people stops are here, why don't they go down and hit all the stops? Remember, there are people who don't have stop losses, and there are people who have bigger risk appetites, meaning they will have like 30 pip stops, 40 pip stop, 50 pip stop. Why don't they go and hit them? Until I realized that most people will have very tight stops, and just by hitting these stops, maybe going 15, 20, 25 pips into their stops, they're gonna close millions or billions of traders throughout the world, and that will mean billions of dollars for them. So by just hitting stops like this, these guys have made billions. Okay, and even here there were a lot of stops, they have made billions. So guys, you must understand these things. Okay, don't put your stops where everybody's putting their stops. That's why I become curious when I see them hitting a level perfectly like this. I don't want my stops to come here. I rather want to see my stops. Okay, I rather want to see them hitting stops, then I put my stops after they have hit stops. You know what that means? That means now my position is safe. Why? I'm putting in my stops after they've hit stops. So my stops comes after hitting stops. Okay, because I know that by now they are done with this area. They've hit stops, they've closed everybody who stops were here. Now that's where I can put my stops. Okay, they are never coming back to this place. They are never coming back, because there are people who fell for the stop hunt and sold. Those guys are trapped, and as they reverse quickly like this, they are going deeper and deeper into their account. So those are the small things to understand, yet they are the most important things to understand. Okay, put your stops after they've hit stops. Okay, you know now that, okay, everything now is safe. Okay, everything is safe. Okay, wait for them to hit stops, then put your stops at the places where they've just hit stops. Usually they're not coming again. As there's a saying that lightning doesn't strike twice at the same place. The same thing happens on the markets, most of the time they will never repeat this level because their job is done. Okay, if you are a farmer, you plow, okay, on your ground, then obviously you are done. The job is done. The job is done. Okay, you are finished. You're not gonna go and replow. So the same applies to these guys. Once they are done hitting stops, that's when you should now come and put your stops and go in line with them. So you only be able to do that if you understand stop hunting. And the reason I'm dwelling more on this is because it's highly important. The time you start understanding stop hunting and you understand that you put your stops when they are done with the job, then you will be done. And another last important thing to note is actually the fact that they will try to make everybody emotional. Okay, that is, they want you to open your trade based on emotion. And one thing I always say is patience. Okay, and this is one thing I've learned from the best traders in the world. Okay, I'm not talking about Instagram guys. I'm not talking about this people will tell you we have 5 years trading. No, I'm speaking about people who have 40 years in trading, people who have 30 years, 20 years. Okay, people who have a track record of being profitable. They will tell the importance of time. And I was actually listening to a podcast where they were interviewing this guy who has 40 years experience. He was actually working for the New York Stock Exchange. Okay, he has 40 years experience, and he said the most successful trades from the New York Stock Exchange, from the house itself, are actually trades taken when the stops have been hit. Okay, we've always spoken about the importance of stop hunting. Okay, he actually said they have an indicator that will give a sound. Okay, I will actually show that that video in my next one. Okay, he said they have alerts. Okay, whenever stop hunts are hit like this, that alert will actually give a sound, and that's when they want to be executing their positions immediately. Why? Because they know the job is done. Put your stops where the job is already done. Okay, don't put your stops when everybody's putting their stop. Why? Because most people are gonna use emotions to put their stops. With patience, guys, with patience and understanding of stop hunts, okay, and timing, then you know that, okay, let them first hit the stops that everybody has put there. Remember, 90 to 95% of people are losing on a daily basis. They've been losing for decades, and one of the things that actually makes them lose is impatience. Okay, they're gonna, you see, they throw a dodgy here. Okay, they want you to execute. The moment you execute here, where are your stops? Your stops are coming here, obviously. Okay, so they're gonna try to trick you. If you follow this as a pin, now it's a pin. You believe that, okay, now that they want you to go down because this is a pin, obviously. Okay, there are people whose stops are here. Don't put your stops where everybody's putting their stops. If there's one important thing to learn is where are people putting their stops. Okay, put your stops when the job is done. Okay, just as that guy said, all the successful or best trades that the New York Stock Exchange has, dating back to his 40 years of experience, is the fact that they actually put their stops when the job is done. They have an alert which rings when the stops have been hit. So if the New York Stock Exchange's success is derived from stop hunts or from stops being hit, then guys, it's either we learn from them or else we become part of liquidity. Okay, patience pays. Hence, in my previous video, I said if you can just print this word patience and put it on a wall where you'll see it every time you are trading, that will help. Why? Because patience pays. Okay, be patient. Wait for them to hit stop hunts, then enter. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to explain any further. I just wanted to explain the importance of allowing them to hit stops. Once they hit stops, they are done. They are not coming back to that level. Okay, Don't put your stops when people are putting their stops. Put your stops when everybody's stops have been wiped out. Then you know your trade is safe. I'm not saying look for pins. No, 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 no. Understand timing and stop hunting. Okay, because there are people who want to be executing after pins. Pins are just traps. Okay, most pins are trapped. They give you a pin. They know that okay, everybody's entering after a pin. They are coming to hit your stops. Okay, so guys, I thank you so much. And for those who are new, hit the subscription button. Okay, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you a lot. Okay.